Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the Roguelite Andy channel and another episode of Dig Around in the Garage, which is sponsored by several people on this episode, the lighting. Primarily the blue, white, and yellow, with that light right there. I don't know if you guys can see or not. We'll lift you up. The lighting over there in the left corner, up high, that is sponsored by my wife. Okay? And then, let's adjust you a little bit here. Yep, see, right there. And then, this light is sponsored by my Snap-on dealer, who charged me way too much money for it, and I was happy to pay for it. So, thank you, Troy. Anyway, let's get on with what we're digging around with. So, now that we got all the sponsorship, dicking around stuff over with, let's tell you what we're doing. We're going to install a trailer hitch on the bike for the camper. And I only hear it in the comments, when the hitch on your bike will void your warranty. No, it won't. Know the laws and, protect yourself as a consumer. You can do what you want to your bike with parts and stuff like that. There may be, say I burn my clutch out, they could say, well, you pull in the trailer, burn your clutch out. But because I get an oil leak, me having a trailer hitch on my bike didn't cause an oil leak. See what I'm saying? So, look it up. Magnuson, Mawson, I believe, 1974. It's all over the place. That's part of why Harley is no longer allowed to just void your warranty, because you don't get the 1K done there. You don't get your services done there. So, yeah, don't blow smoke up your ass. Put it that way. But I bought the hitch from Open Road Outfitters. It's made by US Hitch. I'm going to clarify this, I could have bought it off of US Hitch. Open Road Outfitters doesn't make the hitches. I bought it off of Open Road Outfitters because US Hitch was actually going to charge more money. So I was able to get it second hand, or whatever you want to call it, second party, cheaper. By the way, dog, we've got mics on, so can you hear me now? Alright. Saddlebags are off. And then, there's 2 bolts down yonder here. Let me try to take a picture of them and put them up here somewhere. But you gotta take them 2 bolts out. They get replaced. And then, what 2 bolts is it? One is the picture, then show. Here, the front 2 fender strut bolts. Shown in this picture. Front 2 fender strut bolts, huh? Well, I'll be dead. That's probably them 2 right there. And here's the other thing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this with my lights on. We're going to try to. But alright, yeah. You got a big spacer and a small spacer. Big spacer goes in the front hole. So, you have an arm, kind of like this, doodad, hickey thing above her here. Ooh, that's going to take squeezes in there. May or may not work. Should work. Maybe it goes on the other side. Well, I'll be dead. See, that's just not lining up with anything anywhere I go. Alright. But anyway, we're trying to put a hitch on. Hey, I'm gonna take the lights off. You don't need to see that. So, yeah. Alright, so, I think I got it figured out. Maybe. Let's go down here and look. Alright, so hopefully that's low enough for you guys. I ain't worried about me being in the frame. I'd rather you guys see what's going on under here. We're going to try to shed some light on it. So, I had to unbolt my lights. Once I unbolted my lights, that gave me room and an idea as to what to do here after following the instructions. So, we have to pop out this exhaust bracket bolt here, which is a T45. If you don't have the filler lights on your bike, this will be a whole lot easier. But let's go ahead and get that out of there. Now, you got a whole bag of goodies here. Just go ahead and dump it out on the floor and don't worry about losing anything. It's not a big deal, I promise. Let's see. Oh, they give us grade 8 bolts, huh? Oh, that's silly. We'll be changing those to stainless. I promise you that. So you have 5/8 bushing, 5/8 bushing, one for each side. 3/8 bushing, one for each side. Where's the other 3/8 bushing? You guys see it? There it is, right there. How about that? What do you do? He has 4 bolts there, right? I'm just assuming the longer bolt goes there, and then put a washer on it, and put a nut on. Now, swap over to your key 40 torque fit, because that's what you're going to need. And got your 1/2 inch wrench. This one is 9/16. This one back here is a 1/2. So I'll get my eyes on it, see if I can't see what's going on here. That's alright. Chip the chrome. Wow, I'll be. Do this on a new bike. Don't do it on a bike at 70,000 miles. Stuff just don't want to come apart. It's been weathered. Been weathered a bit. Alright. Well, that's awful fancy of y'all. You give me 2 different size bolts. Right? But you give me all the same size washers. If that ain't about half-assed as shit. Let me read the instructions and see if you're supposed to even put washers on that. Turn quick release faster. 2 on each side. Alright. I will say, I watch videos on this thing, and I'm going to say that a lot of people like the instructions. They're shit. Okay? The only thing helpful on the instructions is where the freaking bushings go. That's it. And then, the thing I don't like, but your plates will bolt to this and you guys will see that. I don't like this shit here. This should be solid up here. That's so USA Hitch, Dale Open Road Outfitters. I mean, you guys can improve that setup a lot to make it sturdier in my expert opinion. So, and then you give all these washers, but what for? I mean, they're not going to fit in here, so you're not going to put both foot washers there. You should use washers, right? Yeah, you're going to have to use washers. I don't know. Kind of fast backwards. But that's just my thought and opinion. What are we supposed to do? Reuse the flange nuts? Yeah, look, that nut don't fit. You got to be kidding me. Alright. We're going to take some inventory because I don't think I got everything. So, this is where being a mechanic is not good. Because you ever think this stuff, however, I don't know why they do it that way. They have a washer there. Probably because that's too big. But essentially, you reuse your old hardware. Or your old nuts. Not bolts, just your old nuts. And you do put oversized washers on it. It doesn't make a lick of sense to me. I mean, you would figure for the money they charge, it would be a little better quality than that when it comes to the hardware. The hitch itself is pretty good quality. The hardware? That's too beady time. Oh, by the way, you gotta take this bolt and this bolt out. And apparently it's okay to take them both out at the same time. Which you're going to have to anyway because of how the thing goes. Did we strip it? Oh, she broke loose. I'll get feed handle. It'll be easier. So that's that one. Not for the way in charge. And it can give you really grade 8 bolts. Not even stainless. Well, no, that does kind of make sense. Well, they could do stainless grade 8, but that's probably cost me too much. Just pinch it up on the field. All you need, because you're going to be able to take it back out at some point. Now, let's see if we can do this. Placer, the big one, goes there. The little one goes there. But we're not going to put the little one in yet. Boy, I don't like that at all. Not at all. Hold on. Let me come back, right? I'm gonna can you hear me? You got audio? Yeah, looks like it. I was able to find some 5/16 washers. Yes, I said washers. Now, we're going to do the smart thing, make sure that both the same length, which it looks like, or all four of them are the same length, which it looks like they are. I'm going to put washers just because not putting washer on there gives you everything that I know about fastening. And kind of how hardware should work. You do it however you want to do it. Alright. That's all we're going to do on that one. That'll swing back and end up folding up to the lower piece. But we need to go around to the other side and change these bolts out again. And that's another thing, okay? Here, instead of making us reuse these with the washer on them, you gotta have a washer up against it. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Where's the other one at? Here's one. Oh, goes through like that. Then you need enough contact surface where the nut don't pull through. So you have a washer, right? Which makes sense. It'll be down there like that. Instead of making us reuse these washers, send out some nylon lock washers in your kit. Come on, guys. Be more professional. Especially for the money you charge. No, I'm not breaking. I know it sounds that way. I'm not complaining. I'm just... There's some things that they could improve on this. Let's move you to the other side. Pretty much going to do the same thing we just did here. But, yeah. Okay, now I need to find a way to change the camera angle so I can maybe show you guys something. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna get my creeper. Doyle uses carpet or cardboard, which works when you're in the south and it's nice and warm. Alright. Alright, you guys are back. We had to change the film in the camera. So we're going to try to make sure this is up all the way. And tighten these bolts, well, snug them at least. And snug the hood in place. That's just not jiving with me real well. I don't like that. I don't like that. Yeah. It's going to piss me off. That is a piss poor setup. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way now. If I were to personally rate this thing, and I haven't even pulled the trailer with it yet, but as far as install and simplicity, and just overall design, no. I give it like a 2-star. It's seems to be made of good quality, but just be simpler for the installation. But engineers overcomplicate things. Thank you for that. We love you for that. Stick the light right there and make my shine through the glass. And back here we go, stick in. Which I'll show you all. Now I think what a feller is going to do is get his floor jack and put under that to hold it up. And then we'll tighten these down. We've got these all started, but we'll tighten these down. But I am going to go ahead and loosen this one up a little bit. Just a smidge. And like I said, we're going to put the floor jack under that, just to hold it, because it should be upright like that. You guys look right here. You'll see where the side arms come down and mount up with it. But let me see something. I think it's like right there. So these are just kind of like a curved bolt, so, square goes down in. We're gonna go ahead and 2 here, 2 on the other side. We're going to tighten them up. And we have the right size sockets. Which we do. Good tight. No Loctite need on these down here. They are what they call nylon lock nuts. So it is not necessary. Personally, I'd have done pop locks with anti-vibration washers, but what do I know? Good and tight. German torque specs that Doyle's been teaching me. Good and tight. See, I don't understand. They use stainless down here, but they're too cheap to use stainless up there. Yeah, we're gonna have to email Dale. I know he doesn't make the hitches. I know that.
I know that for a fact. He doesn't make the hitches. He doesn't manufacture them. He sells them. He sells them at a great price. But let's see here. So we have to tighten these up now. I just snugged them, and we also have to tighten up the top ones. So let me do that, and then I'll bring you guys back in for some final thoughts, I guess.
Whew. Okay. What an ordeal that turned out to be. Either Ryder PA is the one who turned me on to this hitch. He said it's easy. He said he can have his on and off in 15 minutes. Which I could possibly see that once you've got it all together, if you pull it off as a complete assembly. But assembling it is going to take you more time than that. In fact, the video length is probably real close to about how long it's going to take. I'd say probably minus 10 minutes for me moving camera stuff around, because I wanted to give you guys some different angles and stuff. The metal seems to be a very good quality and thickness. I believe it's 1/8 inch thick, powder coated. The powder coating didn't chip off or anything like that. The finished look, which we should be able to get you guys right there. The finished look, I mean, it hides it away. Some of them you have where it comes out and the ball's on the hitch itself all the time. You don't have a receiver doodad. Which I think we're probably going to put ours in that way to give us a little raise for when she walks down, she sags, which it probably shouldn't sag that much. Now, on the engineering design standpoint, there's one major thing that we'll see how it holds up, and I will be carrying tools with me to, if I had any trouble with this on the road, I'll keep tools in the camper. Probably have to play a tool set together just for the camper. Joy. Oh, I love it. And we ain't even got to go camping yet. But anyway. Show you guys up here. I think in the video I griped about it quite a bit. And guess what? We're going to gripe about it again. These fasteners, being grade 8, they're going to rust out in the weather. They should have done stainless. They were able to do stainless here, which supports a lot of it. And they were actually able to do stainless down here. But you guys can get the idea of how that goes together, right? You have your arm that comes down, it bolts up to your receiver piece, and there's 2 bolts on each side. Everything was stainless except for these 2 bolts on each side. That, for what you pay for it, they could give you better quality hardware. And since we're speaking of better quality hardware, I don't know how well you get a pointer. You guys can see here, that washer right there is dang near the same size as that cutout. Now I understand it's just got a clamp and kind of hold that there. What really supports it is right here. Whereas if they would do some engineering and have it to where you had a snugger fit down here and this wasn't cut out, if it was solid across here, and your bolt went through, then you would have some support there on those bolts as well, because I think a lot of the load is going to be off of these here. And the stash had a problem and broke his. I'm not sure what hitch he had when that happened. I know the other RPA's run his for years. He switched it from bike to bike without an issue. But yeah, that. And then they don't give you new hardware. What they should do is, like I said, they should just have a hole drilled instead of that being cut out like that. I mean, I would have it oversized slightly for adjustment. You know, like you're using 5/16 and 3/8 hardware here. Have a little bit of slop in that hole just for alignment purposes so you can get things lined up. But then you would have more support, because if something happens, this comes loose and you're pulling the trailer, this backs off, that's really going to wreak havoc. But they should do the solid hole instead of cut out, and then probably a larger washer, so when you clamp down with the nut, the larger washer will give you a better clamping area. I do not care for that. And then they make you reuse your old nuts. Instead of sending you new stainless nylon nuts, they make you reuse the old nuts. Which is what it is, you know. You can't do nothing about that, but for the price point that, oh my god, they charge for these things, go to Open Road Outfitters and look them up and see what they charge for it. And that's my install video for this, and following the hitch, you guys will see where we dove into some trailer wiring on the camper. That'll be next week's video, and then we'll show you the harness for the bike, and then another one with the trailer for wiring. That's our plan for dicking around the garage. But, USA Trailer, you guys got the right idea, but I think y'all need to go back to the drawing board. And I'm not sure how much influence Dale with Open Road Outfitters has, but I think I'm going to email him and let him know that they need to go back to the drawing board. And, you know, you've got your hitch, your receiver, your ball, of course, goes there. I'm not using the ball. I will be getting a time joint hitch. That's the other thing that I don't really care for, is the bolt on the ball that they supply you. It's a bolt that goes up through, so you're pulling on that bolt instead of having like a typical ball. The bolt is actually part of it, and it's machined that way as a solid piece, and then you just put your nut on it. So I think that's a weak point, but I'm not using the ball. We'll be getting a hind joint and a hind joint hitch for the trailer. But I've kept y'all long enough. Thanks for watching. Thanks for, sticking in there through it. If you made it through to the end, I appreciate it. Thanks to the Blue Bike and Dole for sponsoring Dicking Around in the Garage. And on this episode, thanks to Troy, Snap-on, and my wife for helping out with the lighting. We're trying to get you guys better lighting. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. See ya!